Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys some new gameplay from the Forza Monthly stream. Now, this is all Forza Horizon 4 gameplay, and as you can see right now, we're in the brand new either 2018 or 19. I believe this is the 19 Mustang GT, and really cool car. Really happy it's in the game. Really happy they decided to bring an updated version of this car into Forza, where they could have just easily used, reused the old one, but I'm really glad that it's here. Now, this is going to be the lead-in for this gameplay, but overall, this gameplay is mainly going to be about the fact that they actually played around with the Unimog and the Iron Knight a little bit later, because I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for Iron Knight gameplay to be released, and dude, it did not disappoint. Not one bit. Not one bit whatsoever. So this thing is going to be an absolute animal to drive. And unfortunately, something got a little bit weird with the sound on the stream, at least the way I was receiving it. So instead of bringing you guys weird sound, I decided to put some music in the background. I do apologize for that. Rest assured, if you saw the stream, you know that everything sounds awesome. But regardless, I wanted you guys still to see, in case you missed the stream, I wanted you guys to see what these things were like to drive. And by the way, the new dash on the 2019 Mustang GT is actually really cool. I haven't really seen that dash too much. I think it's a really nice dash. I think it's a really interesting dash, and I like how it kind of starts as like a normal tack, and then it wraps around and then turns into, like, it goes like horizontal, which is really cool. Now, another thing is right now, as they go to switch vehicles, you can see that, like, everything's pretty much unlocked. They have, like, pretty much unlimited credits at this point. I mean, that's obviously because I'm assuming that that's a certain build of the game that is used to show certain things off and show off certain pieces of the game. So with that being said, I can completely understand why. So they've fast traveled back to the festival, really like the auto show at the festival, and in a minute you'll see them drive around the festival a little bit more, and you can see that there's actually a lot of really interesting stuff around the festival. I do apologize, by the way, if you guys can hear a siren right now. I hope you can't, but they I guess just passed by my studio. But regardless, this is going to be the Unimog. Now, the Unimog is one of those vehicles that, like, I cannot wait to drive personally because of the fact that it's just so big. It's so huge. One of the biggest vehicles ever in the Forza series, ever really to be introduced or used in the Forza series or whatever. I mean, this makes the Gurkha look tiny. I mean, at least when you drive it around, or at least by the looks of it, when you drive it around, it makes something like the Gurkha look absolutely tiny. And, like, that's no simple task. I mean, to make the Gurkha look like a tiny vehicle is literally no simple task, and still somehow this manages to pull it off. So I'm impressed. I mean, like, good on the Unimog for being able to pull that off. Now, in the customization options that they go through, you actually have the ability to switch between, like, the canvas top and, like, an actual, like, normal bed, which I think is really cool. Spin Tires better watch it. Forza's trying to come in on them. But no, like, for real, though, it's really cool that you have that customization. I mean, and it's another one of those things that, like, we totally did not, it didn't need to be there. But, bro, I cannot even imagine, like, how many things that we could even attempt to do. Like, I'm sure we won't be able to put anything in the back, but, like, I still want to try to, like, put a mini in the back of it or something. Like, I think it would be absolutely hilarious. But, like, put a mini, or, like, maybe try to, like, attempt to put, like, multiple POP 50s in the back. Like, that'd be so crazy. I mean, and it would make sense. It'd be fun. It'd be, like, a really fun challenge, like, to attempt to do. And that's one of those things that, like, makes Horizon. And when you have those things that make Horizon, you can't really, like, you can't really get rid of them that easily, like, that spirit is always going to be there, and I think that that's what makes Horizon special. But once they leave the auto show, you guys will be able to see really how big this thing is and how big it looks in comparison to the normal environment, because it is so freaking massive. Now, driving it out of the auto show here, the camera almost hits the ceiling because it's just so huge. And, looking out the windshield, you really kind of, you don't really get an idea of how big it is because of the fact that, like, you're just, like, sitting there looking out at pretty much nothing. But then you go into third-person view and you realize how absolutely monstrous this vehicle is. It pretty much takes up both lanes when you're driving. It pretty much, like, dude, when you look at it from behind, I think I'm probably only going to drive this thing in third person. I mean, it actually, when you look at it, you realize it doesn't really take up both lanes, but, like, it's one of those things that, like, it definitely appears to because of how wide the bed is. I mean, like, The actual axles themselves don't really take up that much room in comparison to, like, other large vehicles that have been in the game before. But the actual size of, like, the bed definitely takes up more room than most Forza vehicles that we've been used to in the past. So I think that's what makes this thing seem so huge. And also, when he ends up taking it off this hill right here, you see that it does have a bit of a tendency to roll. And also the mirrors come off, which is hilarious. Like, it's just like little details like the mirrors coming off, which is just like, they put some extra thought into that, you know what I mean? Like, they really did. Like, there's little bits and pieces here and there that, like, make this thing, you know, really, really interesting. So, I'm assuming, though, too, that it would be definitely a tricky vehicle to mess with if you had to roll it back over. And I can definitely see it being a little bit frustrating if that was something that you had to do. But at the same time, it's definitely not impossible. Now, if you do hit one of those trees, like the bigger trees are solid. And if you hit one of the bigger trees, yeah, you're going to be stopped dead in your tracks. But if you hit one of the smaller trees, usually you're going to go right through it. Same way with these, like, you know, the stone walls and stuff like that, and like the fences, and like the smaller trees. They've really been keen on making the trees, like, very defined on, like, what is breakable and what is not. So, it's definitely one of those things where, like, you'll pretty much be really, really, like, it'll be really, really reliable as to what is breakable and what isn't. So you'll pretty much know that if you're headed straight for a tree that isn't breakable, you'll know. And, like, you'll still get mad. You'll still be like, oh, stop me dead in my tracks. But no, like, you'll know that you're heading straight for an unbreakable object. So you'll definitely have more of a chance to kind of, like, adjust yourself before you get to it. So moving forward into a little bit more of the gameplay that's later on in this video, they are actually going to try out the Volvo Iron Knight, which, dude, when I saw him try that thing out on stream, I was like, oh my god, yes, thank you so much for trying this truck out, because honestly, like, that's one of my most anticipated vehicles in the entire game. I mean, the PLP50 is up there, yeah, but, like, dude, the Iron Knight is up there on it's up there on a pretty big level. It's genuinely up there on a pretty big level. Same as the Unimog, but the Unimog does not get me anywhere near as excited as the Iron Knight does. The Iron Knight just gets me more excited than pretty much any other vehicle that I've seen them announce, apart from the PLP50, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time in that. I'm going to be spending a ton of time in the Iron Knight, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time probably in the Unimog as well, but definitely not as much time in the Unimog as I'm going to be spending in, say for example, the Iron Knight. The Iron Knight is going to just be one of those vehicles. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those vehicles that, like, you're in it and you're like, oh yeah, this is good. This is perfect. So the map seems to be, see, that's the thing too, like, this looks like it's being done in autumn, in fall. I mean, it would be pretty simple to assume that, just based on all of the falling leaves and, like, you know, the way the map looks and stuff like that, and everything just looks, everything has this, like, fall, kind of almost aesthetic to it. It just really looks right for the fall season. But the next upcoming vehicle is the one that when I heard that they were going to drive this on the stream, I was like, dude, that needs to happen right now. That needs to be a thing immediately. Like, you need to pull that truck out now and just go. So, honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, this belongs in Forza. Of course it belongs in Horizon. Like, why would this not belong in Horizon? I mean, a lot of people will be like, well, it's a track-only vehicle, and it's not street legal. Why is it here? And I'm like, it's here because it's here. Don't question it. Like, it's literally a race semi-truck. Why would you question that? And it gives the tank pool truck something to race against. It gives that truck something to compete with. And I think that's the best thing that they could do, because literally that truck was just in a class all by itself. For the longest time, there was nothing else that could, that was, like, it wasn't fun to race that truck against anything else, because there was nothing else that really made it fun to race against. So, but the only thing that I'm hoping for with this truck is I really hope that in the tuning, I'm just hoping you, like, to God, that you can lock the diff up all the way. Because that was my biggest thing with the, tank pool truck, is that even if you went to, like, 100%, it still acted like an open diff in corners. And I was like, I was really disappointed by that, because I wanted to turn it into a drift truck. And that's what I want to turn this thing into, is a drift truck. I'm sure I'll have multiple versions of it. I'll probably have my race version and I'll have my drift version. And as long as I have both of those, I think I'll be, like, good to go. But, dude, when they set off in this thing, like, dude, I wish you guys could hear it. I do apologize for that audio issue. I genuinely apologize for it. I haven't had an audio issue in a long time. But it's got those crazy exhausts sticking out of the back. It's got this epic interior with this really cool race steering wheel. And then, dude, the little gauge up on the A-pillar is just, like, it adds to the immersion. It really genuinely adds to the immersion factor of it. And it's one of those vehicles that's, like, of course it belongs here. Of course it belongs here, because why does it not? I mean, and here's the Horizon drag strip. I mean, you can definitely get a good look at the Horizon drag strip here. I know you guys have seen it like in trailers and stuff like that, but you never really seen it for more than a few seconds. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where they show it for a few seconds and then they're like, you know, like that's about it. That's about all they show in the trailers. But I'm really happy that they showed it for at least for a little bit here on stream, and that they're like, you know, just running across the fields and everything, and it just looks so good. I can't wait to get my hands on Forza Horizon 4, like actually, like, you know, in my own home, in my own studio, and I'm like, dude, absolutely need to play this game. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to click that like button. Tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel and are excited for Horizon 4, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more, because there will be more coming related to Horizon 4. I have a big surprise coming very soon within the next few days that you guys might want to make sure you stay tuned for. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. See you guys later.